The A380 has made it to Microsoft Flight Sim, but don't get too excited, it's only AI traffic as part of FSLTL's fantastic AI traffic software. In today's video we've got the update there and some more news from Flight Sim Studios regarding their E-Jets and some other fantastic Microsoft Flight Sim news stories. Before we get into the news, a message from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is FS Academy. FS Academy makes fantastic tutorial packs for Microsoft Flight Sim that bring elements of real flying into the simulator, teaching you everything from the basics of VFR flight to advanced IFR procedures. FS Academy is a go-to add-on if you'd like to improve your flying skills in Microsoft Flight Sim. From their recently released Navigator pack to the classics like their VFR pack, I do recommend FS Academy. High quality manuals, and the best thing is you can get 40% off in their upcoming Christmas sale, so keep an eye out for that. Enjoy the video. Okay, so yes, thank you very much to FS Academy for sponsoring another video here on the PILOTSTUDD channel. As I always say, I only work with companies I think will actually benefit my audience, so no, you'll never see NordVPN or Raid Shadow Legends on my channel. Anyway, let us get right into the news. So to kick it off with FSLTL, as you've seen, the A380 is now in Microsoft Flight Sim as part of this AI traffic software. It's not just that though, they've released a massive Xmas update for what is one of the best add-ons on the sim so far. So the base package I should say, has received update 1.1.0. This brings over an incredible amount of liveries, 250 if not more new liveries brought into Microsoft Flight Sim, now totaling up to almost 1,400. And you can find the list of liveries down below if you'd like to scroll through all of them. But more importantly, we've got new models, from the Embraer E190 to the E170 to the Airbus A380, 800, A220-300, CRJ 700 and Boeing 737 and 738 freighter. It's really nice to see these new aircraft models in Microsoft Flight Sim through FSLTL. Of course, the other good AI traffic solution, AIG, did have some of these models, but I think I do prefer FSLTL now just because of its ease of setup. You know, you basically start the application, load into Microsoft Flight Sim, and you're there. It's great to see the A380 from FSLTL, because if you went to Dubai, where there's basically A380 heaven, you just see those horrible Microsoft Flight Sim default aircraft, so you really don't see them now. They're basically covered every major airliner type, from the A350 to the Embraer E170. It is incredible to see a freeware team get behind Microsoft Flight Sim and get behind an add-on like this and continue to improve it, so it is just a testament to how hard they've worked. We've also seen some pack-wide improvements, from improved contrails to broken shadows being fixed on some models to takeoff acceleration tweaks. Of course, it's not perfect. AI traffic will probably never be perfect for any Microsoft Flight Sim software. It never really has been. There's always little issues, always little problems, but I think the FSLTL team have done, or so far, the best job they could have. They were set back by Sim Update 11 and they seem to have recovered from that. If you'd like to hear more about a payware AI traffic solution under the name of Just Flight's FS Traffic, do check out my other recent video here where we talk about that, but at the moment FSLTL is definitely the best solution out there. Join their Discord and download FSLTL via the fly-by-wire installer. Now I move to my phone. An interesting app has been released for Microsoft Flight Sim as part of Volanta 1.4. You can now download Volanta on your phone. Now, quite annoyingly, this is only for premium users only. I was playing around with it. I haven't actually tracked a flight on my phone just yet. But I do have to admit, I think the idea that you have to have the premium version of Volanta to actually use this app properly is a bit clumsy. I'm not the big fan of that, but I am a big fan of making Volanta more accessible for when you're away from your PC but would like to leave your flight running, although admittedly that's not going to be very good on your electric bill, but being honest, we've probably all done it. You know, the app works well from what I've seen. It's smooth and not laggy when I was zooming into other people's flights to track them. It definitely worked, felt quite a bit like Flight Radar 24. The one thing I did notice is that there's not a way to see your previous flights or achievements or anything like that. I imagine that will change in the future, as this is the initial release of Volanta on mobile as part of version 1.4. You can download it now and use it if you have Volanta Premium. Now for the final few bits of news. Aviation Lads have released the third out of a series of 4 videos taking a look at the E-Jets family by Flight Sim Studio in partnership with Aerosoft. This time we get a look at the systems. Now I'll say it 5,000 times, when you're looking at an upcoming aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim, it is always systems that count. A model can look as fantastic from the outside as possible, but if you get inside the cockpit and it is a literal potato, well, it's just no fun to fly. I won't name any names except Captain Sim, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, that's clearly not the case with Flight Sim Studio and Aerosoft. In the 2-minute video we get from Aviation Lads, of which 1 minute and 30 seconds really does show us the aircraft, we get a fantastic look into the internals of the Embraer E175. Now, for those of you who don't know, the E-Jet family in development includes the aircraft from the 170 up to the 195. By the looks of it, the 175 will be the first one we get. In this video we get a rejected takeoff, which if you read into it could be symbolism. You know, if the aircraft was taking off into the sky, it might look like the aircraft is ready to fly into our simulators, but I still do think there's a bit of work here despite how good it looks. PFD simulation looks really responsive. The eCam page looks awesome as well, and we do get a great look at that in the video. I would just recommend you go watch it, to be perfectly honest. I can sit here and say it looks fantastic all day, and you guys can believe me, but until you really watch the video, you're not getting a good feel for it, so do go do that now. But aside from that, I'd just like to say a massive well done to Flight Sim Studio and Aerosoft and Aviation Lads. They also announced that they are working with X-Crafts. Now, X-Crafts are in the process of making the E-Jets for X-Plane 11 and 12, and they're helping out with the 3D modelling here. It's only a good thing getting development teams working together, so it's still definitely one of the most promising add-on aircraft out there, and I wish them good luck with it. We should see the 4th and final video in Aviation Lads series taking a look at the E-Jets within the next week or so. I do wonder what that'll be now that we've seen the outside, inside and systems. Maybe it'll be a look at flight model. I don't think it will be to do with release. I still reckon we've got a few months until then, but aside from that, it looks absolutely beautiful. Final few things to say, guys. If you want to join me at FSExpo 2023 next year over at Houston, Texas, the largest flight simulation expo in the world, with industry leaders all there, then use code PILOTSTUDD to get 10% off any registration for an in-person visit to Flight Sim Expo. You can find more about that down below. From me today, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to FS Academy for sponsoring this video. It's a privilege to work with you. I'll see you around. Have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year if this is the last time I see you. Bye bye.